Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Order no, order no, order no. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and your Gobi, it's order no revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What's up, guys? We have a great show for you guys today. It's great because we're talking about the greatest invention or found thing ever, which is bitmaps, guys. If you know us, you know we love bitmaps. I mean, it's our damn logo, right? So we're very excited talking today with Bitmap.Community. What these guys have built is pretty amazing. We're gonna get into all that stuff, but it's an easy way to buy bitmaps, and there's a whole bunch of things going on with this bitmaps community thing. I know you guys seen it on Magic Eden. You're probably wondering what the heck it is, what it's all about. Today we're gonna get deep into that, so I can't wait. So without further ado, let me bring in my partner, as always, Mr. Iagobi. What's up, buddy?
What is good? What is good?
Yeah, man. It's been a fun day. We've been doing some back-to-back type of stuff for you guys, man. So appreciate it. But how are you feeling about Bitmap.Community?
I love it. I think it's a great resource website. It's more than that. It's you have the Explorer, you have the marketplace that pulls from different. It's like an aggregator, right? Like pulls from different marketplaces, gives you the best prices that you can find. You can connect your wallet, show your Bitmap portfolio. It's one that indexes the community punks and all that stuff and sends that information to like Magic Eden and everybody, right? So they've been doing a lot of great work for the Bitmap community. And the Genesis parcels launched last week. They're the first to do it, like the big one, right? So I'm excited to get into the mind of the founder and why he decided to go into bitmaps and then create this amazing platform.
Yeah, 100%. And I just saw today that they're indexing, or they're giving you Bitmap Valley. They're putting that up there, so you can now buy Bitmap Valley maps on their thing, which I was really excited about, because we own some land in Bitmap Valley, so that's exciting to see. Finally, someone doing that, and on top of that, with just building on Bitmap, like, and they picked such a cool block to do their thing, right? So we're gonna get into all that stuff, because I can't wait to hear it from him why he chose that and everything. But it should be really fun. But without further ado, let's bring him up. Bitmap.Community, welcome to Order Revolution.
Hey guys, how we doing? So stoked to be here. Been a listener for a long time.
Have you? That's awesome. Yeah, man.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, man. So I guess we'll just get right into it. So on the show, we obviously we love projects. We can't wait to get into it, but we really like to hear from the person about themselves and stuff like that. Really get to know the people, because without good people, we don't have a good space. You know what I mean? So if you can kind of give us your background, far back as possible, and kind of lead us up to your crypto journey, that'd be awesome.
For sure. So yeah, I guess my crypto journey really started in 2020. So I was working in kind of like sales finance for most of my career up until that point, and then COVID hit and lost my job, and it turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me, because I realized that world kind of, although it was fun and I liked it, it wasn't what I wanted to do forever. And around that time, I had some time off, so I decided to dive into programming and did like a 6-month boot camp where they just kind of teach you a bunch of programming stuff really quickly. And just during that time, like literally like fell in love with it and just became absolutely obsessed. And you guys definitely remember, but around that same time, crypto was popping off, right? We had like the big 2021 bull, and I kind of discovered, or really became obsessed with crypto like at the same time too, because it was gaining a lot of hype. I was like new to the whole space, so I just kind of dove into that as well at the same time, and just found my passion, found exactly what I wanted to do, and so ended up getting in with a few crypto projects as a kind of entry-level developer, and worked for some projects both on Ethereum and Polkadot, and did that for a while. In the meantime, I was writing articles and kind of publishing things about blockchain data, because that was one of the biggest interests of mine, was data analytics and data engineering, and just discovering like all of this kind of unknown stuff that lives on chain, that to someone new, it's like this new world, right? This, especially if you like data, it's all this all this kind of non-arbitrary data that we talk about so much. It's this really interesting kind of thing for somebody who really likes that stuff. So I just fully dove in and was publishing things and doing this stuff, and ended up getting noticed by someone who was starting a blockchain data analytics company, and he reached out to me and asked me to help him get that going. So that was probably late 2021, and still doing that today. Actually, we're still building that. We raised a seed round, and we're doing some really fun stuff there. But that's like how I've got into kind of this whole blockchain data thing, was just writing about it, super interested in it, got pulled into like the world even further with that guy who found me in 2021, and then I saw Bitcoin NFTs start to happen in early 2023, and noticed that, and I was like, oh yeah, this is it. Like this is what we've been waiting for. Like we all, at least me, got wrecked in 2021, 2022, and super glad I did, because it kind of set me up for the Bitcoin bull that we're all coming into. But saw that happening. I was like, oh yeah, this is the one. Fully just like locked in on everything ordinals. And then June came around, and Batoshi's tweet caught my eye, and he's talking about Bitmap and how block data can be used to kind of generate these metaverse plots. And I was like, oh man, this is, you could just tell that it was going to take off based on kind of the thought process that people will go through when they see something like that. Just really clicked to me. So yeah, I was talking to some friends, and we were like, you know what, like there's really nobody out here who's indexing all of this like Bitmap data, right? Like this is something that people, we're seeing block attributes pop up already. People are talking about, how do we find a rare bitmap? Like what makes this bitmap different from another? And we're like, we need to solve that problem. And so it's just what we love to do. We went out and indexed all of the on-chain data, and then started looking into the off-chain data, and just got absolutely welcomed with open arms by the community, and just fell in love with Bitmap and everything that comes along with it. So from there we launched our version 1 of our website, and we've since then just been looking to improve on it and continue to build out things that can help Bitmap move forward. So that's where we find ourselves today.
Dude, that's awesome. I love your background, man. You're very well-rounded in terms of like, going to that boot camp and having the developer skills, but also writing about the space. So you look at it from more than just the developer perspective. And then how perfect is like the whole creation of Bitmap for you, someone that's obsessed with data. Like it's just like, that's like a perfect marriage, it seems like, so that's awesome.
100%. Yeah. No, that's the main reason why. I mean, Bitmap was just such an obvious choice for us, just because it's data and it's Bitcoin. I mean, where can you go wrong with that?
Yeah,
man. So were you one of the guys who were like minting Bitmap in July, or did you just buy on the secondary, or how'd you get your first introduction?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. As soon as I saw Batoshi's tweet, yeah, I started subscribing like mad. Yeah, and it was really fun for me, because back then I think a lot of people were focused on lower block numbers, right? That was kind of the meta. Still is the meta to this day. That's the market always gives like low numbers value, and that's warranted. But for me, since I was sort of aware of the different data pieces in there, I was going on to services like Dune Analytics or Genie Data, and you can query block data there and find like bitmaps that have the largest output values, or the largest size parameter, or different things like that, where it's like me and a few other people, I think we saw the data piece of Bitmap as more important in the early days, and so we were inscribing with that in mind, rather than just trying to get the lowest number. We were looking for the blocks that were full of the most data, and so I think we're going to get into it later, but that's where I came across that Bitmap that we parceled out, with all those transactions and everything. So yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's like thinking like 2 steps ahead of the space.
Wait.
You know what I mean? Because like obviously like low number metas, this like ordinals in general, right? Like low inscription numbers and low, but like when you're thinking about parceling out, like he already knew kind of like what the future was going to hold. So that's really, really awesome. You mentioned that like, you know, not many people were indexing some of these other details, but you know, like Track obviously indexes Bitmap, I think on like a very like, you know, basic level. But what you guys decided to do was, you know, get all the details about it, like the block tributes, the, you know, the Bitmap punks, the you know, single transaction, all that good stuff, right? Was that difficult? Was that like overwhelming? Because there's so much information, and then you have people like me. I remember I reached out to you, I want to say like 3 months ago or something, about like, because my punk was a community punk that wasn't indexed, and you helped me out right away. But like, was that overwhelming, or do you feel like it just kind of was like you're good at it naturally, and you and your team were able to tackle that really easy?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you know, it's a lot, right? There's a lot of, I think we're up to like 60 something block tributes now, so it's and it's just going to continue to grow, like, you know, so there's a lot of block tributes to add, but we kind of designed our system with this in mind, because like that's kind of our main like value add, right? At least in the beginning was block tributes and kind of doing all this stuff that nobody else wanted to do. And the reason that we did that is because we could see that there was like such a strong community of bitmappers who didn't really have like a voice, right? Because you know, Magic Eden, like all the big ordinals marketplaces, Bitmap was too small at the time. Still kind of might be for them to want to put in the time and effort to index all this stuff. And so that's kind of why we did it, right? It was like easy decision for us to kind of be the voice for the native bitmapper. But yeah, I mean, it's you know, we still get a ton of those requests, and we might be a little slow at times just because we've got so much other stuff that we're working on as well. But no, I mean, it's nothing for us to just throw it in there, and we're happy to do it because we want everyone to, you know, get their data represented as it should be.
That's awesome. So you keep saying we. Could you kind of go over your team and what duties and what parts they have?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are a pretty small team at the moment. There's only 3 of us. Me, I'm the founder, also the backend dev. So do a lot of the data stuff, you know, API, all of that. We've also got Moldart, who is a co-founder as well, and he is more on the front end. So all that like beautiful design and stuff that you guys see, all credit to him. He's an absolute beast. And then if you've got one more on the team, his name is Shankar, and he is kind of helping us out with everything from the community to full stack development, and so on. So yeah, small team. But we've also got a lot of community members helping as well. Since we launched our Genesis parcel, we have just tons of people reaching out wanting to support and contribute. So, you know, we're gonna have some cool threads on Twitter coming up where they'll be written by community members about certain bitmaps, kind of like the one that we did about our bitmap that we're parceling. We want to highlight other cool, unique bitmaps, you know, and the use cases that come along with those. So we've reached out to the community, and they're going to be helping us doing that. So yeah, we're a pretty small team right now, but I imagine that's gonna grow pretty quickly here.
That's awesome.
Awesome. You know, I feel like you guys kind of, like you said, you guys started doing the stuff, the harder stuff that people didn't want to really do, and it actually, I mean, it probably ended up, you know, rolling out to like how you kind of imagined it in your mind, where like, you know, Magic Eden kind of looks to you guys, and then other people look to you guys for, you know, data. And you got a pretty big compliment from BRC 420's founder Jeff, that said that you guys are the source of truth when it comes to bitmap for those details. He said it in the space. I believe you were in the space as well. But, you know, so do you feel like kind of like a lot of these other entities are kind of coming to you guys if they run into any issues with like those kind of details? Do you feel like they're coming to you guys?
That's a great question. Yeah, I mean, it actually does feel like that. I mean, that's kind of what we set out to do in the beginning, was kind of be the source of information for Bitmap, right? And yeah, it's just kind of evolved. I mean, we've been the ones who've kind of catered to what people have wanted, what Bitmappers have wanted from the beginning, with getting all of these block attributes indexed and things like that. Plus the on-chain data. I mean, really the source of truth for that is Bitcoin itself, right? Because we're just showing what's on Bitcoin, right? We just kind of do some additional stuff with giving it like rarity, by comparing it to other blocks, things like that, kind of make it a little bit more digestible for the user. But in the end, it's all the on-chain stuff is whatever's on Bitcoin. But all the off-chain stuff, yeah, that's in the minds of the community, and we're just filling our database with that. So yeah, it does make sense that we are the sense of truth, since we're kind of the only ones who are working on that.
Yeah, we were sitting there, and he said that, and I was like, we were already going to like reach out to you like eventually anyway, and he said that. I was like, yeah, we've got to get them one, got to go going now, because
I already had
it
them.
might get too
I already
big.
had them scheduled. I already had them scheduled. Yeah,
I was like, you
No,
guys are
that's
gonna
a
get too
huge
big for
compliment.
us. So yeah,
No,
yeah.
I mean, I respect Jeff and BRC 420 a lot. So I mean, that's huge. Like that's really great to hear that.
One amazing thing that I think that the community as a whole doesn't take advantage of enough, like, well, at least from what I've heard, but I think they will, is the fact that you guys, get the data from the marketplaces, and you guys show what the best prices are. Did you have that on your version 1 of your website as well?
We did not. No. Yeah, we were just showing the block and the block attribute data on version 1.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think that's going to be a big game changer, because me knowing that, I'm going to come to Bitmap.Community now, and I'm going to purchase the lowest available. If I want to just pick up floor bitmaps, I'm going to come over here and if it's Ordinal's wallet or Magic Eden, whoever's going to be the lowest floor. So great idea, whoever thought about that. With that being said, you guys do earn some revenue off of that, right? Just a small fee, or how does that work?
Oh no, we actually don't. So yeah, it's all for the community. Yeah, we actually don't have any revenue right now. Our site is completely out of our own pockets. So yeah, it's just we just wanted to do it for the community and for Bitmap, because I mean, it's been really fun. Like, I don't know if you guys mentioned it earlier, but we added support for Bitmap Valley blocks, and when I posted the update, like as soon as I added it to our site last night, floor was 0.01, and I put out a tweet and said, hey, we added it, floor is 0.01. And now today, I think floor is like 0.05 or something, right? Like people saw that and they're like, oh shit, I want a Bitmap Valley block, but I didn't know like which one to buy. So just that right there is like payment enough that like people are able to go and find what they want and just be happy like holding a Bitmap. That just is kind of the reason that we're doing it. But we are working on some things that will get revenue. Obviously, we want to be able to let you buy and sell bitmaps through our marketplace as well, not just the others. We want to do some inscription services like native parceling inscriptions, things like that. So we are working on that.
I think it's brilliant actually that you guys aren't like trying to think so much about monetization initially, because like you guys are really kind of taking this Google search approach, right? Like from back in the early 2000s, to where you're like, hey guys, we want to service you guys, like this community. Use our website, tell us what you want. We want to bring you more tools and stuff like that, and eventually all that hard work will pay off. The revenue will come. Is that kind of your mindset with this?
100%. Yep, exactly. I mean, yeah, it started out as like passion, just do this for the community, and it still is that. It will always be that. But yeah, I mean, we need to get revenue in order to stay afloat, right, and be able to pay our costs. So that is part of the game. It has to be, and so yeah, that's kind of the focus for us next. But yeah, we've had a lot of fun just building for the community up to this point, and we'll continue to do that.
If I was looking for the Bitmap Valley block, how would I go? How do I do that?
Oh yeah, go to Marketplace tab.
Okay, it's here.
And then if you click block attributes on the left there.
Okay.
And then type in Bitmap Valley, or you can scroll down there and find it.
There we go. That's awesome. Oh wow, 3.8.
They're
Oh
going,
wow,
they're
man.
going for a good, they're going for a good little
$1,600. Congratulations, Chris, man. I love IMSO. He's awesome.
Congratulations to us. What are you talking
Well,
about?
I
Just
mean,
kidding.
we did buy
We got a
in,
couple
but
yeah, we got a couple of these. No, I'm
yeah,
just
man.
kidding.
Let's talk about this. Talk about this block and why you chose this to be your parcel.
Yeah, I love this story. So this block, well, first off, I mean, when you look at it, it's probably one of the more unique bitmaps that I've ever seen. Each one of those little blocks is a parcel, right? Or AKA a transaction in the block. And this block actually has a really unique background because it was created as a result of a flood attack on Bitcoin, which, to define that, is someone back in July 2015 wanted to stress test the mempool. And so they sent like hundreds of thousands of transactions, little tiny small transactions with almost no Bitcoin inside of them. I think there was actually 0 Bitcoin inside of these transactions. It was just a bunch of like phantom transactions, and sent like hundreds of thousands of them to the mempool in order to try and break Bitcoin. And that's what created this block, is all of these little tiny transactions were one of those transactions that were meant to stress test the mempool. And so, it came out with this block that's perfect for parceling. I mean, it's got, I think, over 6K transactions, and each of them are the same size, besides the Coinbase transaction, of course. But yeah, it just made perfect sense for us to, first off, really cool story that you can, someone tried to attack Bitcoin, but now we're, using it to fund our project, right, and kind of do this really cool thing on Bitmap. And then also, we've got the first 500 for our Genesis parcels, but it gives us much more room to expand and build more value on parcels, and for our Genesis parcel holders. So it just made perfect sense.
Yeah. So you said there's 500. Obviously, there's a lot more than 500 in here. Is that max cap for that Genesis collection?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like think about it like OMB or On-Chain Monkey, right? Like On-Chain Monkey has their dimensions collection, which is 300 OCM dimensions, and those are kind of like the grails of On-Chain Monkey, right? But then they also have 10K Genesis On-Chain Monkeys that were migrated from ETH. You can kind of compare that same style of project to us with our Genesis parcels and the rest of these. Those 500 are our OCM dimensions, and the rest are our Genesis or whatever we're gonna do with them. There might be some other really interesting use cases that pop up for parceling that we've yet to see. So there's just something in the future that they'll be used for, but what that is unknown at the moment. But Genesis parcel holders will play a part in that no matter what it is, right? They might get airdropped them, or they'll have some access to whatever we build on them, or whatever it is. But yeah, Genesis parcel holders, there's only going to ever be 500 of those.
Sounds great. And like you said, holding one will get you airdrops and stuff like that. There was rumors of potentially, and now I'm thinking that they're false now. But I heard a rumor that like they were getting some of the fees maybe later down the line of a marketplace and something like that. Or is that something, or maybe not?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I can go through the full list, but yeah, I mean, we're taking a community first approach, just like Bitmap has been forever, and how we have kind of been our ethos behind building Bitmap Community was it's all for the community. And so, what we want to do is our Genesis parcel holders are going to be an extension of our business. So, if we're able to generate some profit, we want to pay that back to our holders and the people who've believed in us forever. So it's going to be profit sharing. We're going to give discounted marketplace fees to Genesis parcel holders. You can actually get your listings featured on our featured listings section of our landing page as a Genesis parcel holder. We'll give you an API key once that's ready to go. Pretty much anything that we can do, we're going to do for our Genesis parcel holders.
Wow, that's
API
huge,
key,
man.
Shizzy. That's
I
awesome.
know. Something that we need for our website. No, that's amazing, man.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. So much going on. I love it.
The site looks phenomenal. Shout out to your front end guy, man. Absolutely amazing. One of the best sites that I've seen in Ordinal so far. But
thank you. Yeah, and we don't want to just stop at Bitmap, right? Like we're starting with Bitmap, and obviously like that's our main focus. But once we get to a point where we can continue to expand, our goal is to move into everything else that surrounds the Bitmap ecosystem. From NATs, DMTs, all of these different like block drops, BMT tokens, BRC 420s, like anything that we can do to kind of bolster the ecosystem surrounding Bitmap. That's our next stop after we get all this marketplace and things set up for Bitmap. So yeah, we think we have amazing UX and we don't want to stop, short of what our potential is.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, the way that you guys been, and I'm sure that you're the lead project manager, and just the way that everything has flowed, I don't have any doubts that you guys will do well in adding those other, sectors as well. Because I mean, Bitmap, it started off as like this single string of text, inscription, and now it's like you got this website robust platform, you got like the BRC 420s, the gaming's coming to it, you got Foxy and all this stuff. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity, and I think like I feel sometimes I just stop and I'm like, man, I'm so blessed just to be in the community, and someone like you that has a large resource. I think you guys are going to do amazing stuff. So keep on keeping on, man.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate that. Yeah, no, it's been a journey, and yeah, we're super lucky to have so many passionate people building on Bitmap. I think that's one of the things that makes it so unique is there's no like leader. I mean, Batoshi is kind of the de facto leader, right? He's kind of like the Vitalik of Bitmap, because Vitalik is he's not designated like the leader of ETH, but if he tweets something out, people on ETH are going to try to build it, right? Similar with Bitmap and Batoshi, but I think that's one of the things that makes Bitmap so unique is just the since there's no real like appointed leader, that the community is the leader, and based on what the community thinks, that's what gets done, and that's kind of how we've chosen to build.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
and I felt like those are the most successful like types of projects in crypto, is like Bitcoin itself, right? Like Satoshi was there until 2012, and then he disappeared, but like it continued on, and I can see Bitmap like that. But I'm curious in turn, like from to hear your perspective on like where Bitmap goes from here. Obviously, we can't tell the future, but what are some things that you can see happening with Bitmap in the future, in the next like 2 years, 3 years?
It's a good question. Yeah, I mean, the possibilities are so endless. First off, I've definitely am still waiting on like a ton of projects to fully release their Bitmap like metaverses, right? I know a ton that are working really hard on doing something really cool, like Expector, for example, with their Unreal 5 engine, metaverse that they're coming out with. OXL Prof, he on Twitter, he's building something really interesting, using the same kind of Unreal Engine 5 engineering. There's just so many things that are happening that we'll kind of see some winners and some losers there once these projects start to come out and people start to use them. So I think that's kind of the next like kind of short term thing for Bitmap is these projects will start to release, and that'll be really interesting to see block data, the actual like metaverse on block data come to life. And then over time, I think we'll continue to see Bitmap just be used for all of these different things that it can be. Like, we were one of the first to use parceling utility as part of our business, and I think there's going to be a lot more of that. I mean, we've seen it recently here with a lot of different projects around the ecosystem parceling out their bitmaps and really diving into that. We'll also see, Jeff and his team. They're obviously working on something amazing with Merlin and WMAP and everything that they're doing there. So I'm not sure exactly what's going to come of that, but I assume that it's going to be something really cool. And Bitmap is definitely going to play a part in that, because obviously Jeff and his team are big supporters. And then NAT and DMT and all of those tokens obviously going to play a key role as well. One of the things that we haven't really seen taken off is BMT tokens. You know, we saw like NAT take off pretty well. I mean, lots of volume there, but BMT, I guess, I don't know. I mean, I guess people just haven't really bought into it or picked up on why they should use it. But yeah, go ahead.
That's surprising, actually, you know, because I would think that like BMT would probably be more thriving than DMT, because like as a Bitmap owner, you want to kind of feel exclusive, right, to those tokens.
Yeah,
Exactly. My thoughts too. Yeah, I think there just needs to be like a real drop for it. You know, like someone needs to do it, and it needs to be successful, and then people are going to realize like, oh yeah, this is why, you know, they came out with this idea. You know, if you're a Bitmap holder.
I just think there's just like excessive tokens right now, and like there's no builders behind these tokens. I mean, if you look at Atomicals, there's 300 tokens there that have no one building there, and this like, you know, and other places as well. There's so many just useless tokens coming out now on Bitcoin. So I think that's why people aren't digging into BMT, because they're not really seeing the I think they just need to be more exposed to what it actually is, rather than thinking, oh wow, it's just another useless token. So maybe that's something that, you know, we could do. I know Blockrunner's trying to push that out as well, to kind of show the BMT model as well. Is there anything that you think Bitmap.Community can do to kind of like showcase that?
Yeah, we would love to. Like, that's one of our goals right now is to build towards like letting people inscribe their BMT tokens on our site. Things like that, and being able to like have a block tribute for, you know, if this token has been inscribed, or like, you know, something where they can come and see like what's been extracted from this bitmap, or, you know, whatever it is. Well, obviously we'll definitely want to build that into our site.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we're working towards that for sure.
Yeah, something that's simplistic. You know, obviously there's a lot of details with it, so I don't know how simplistic it can get, but like easy, I think easier is best always. But what were you gonna say, Shizzy?
No, I was just going to say to that, like to the next kind of thing here is if you could just explain this to me real quickly. How do you guys come up with this score here and this ranking?
Yeah, good question. So we have developed kind of a system to score bitmaps based on rarity, and there's two factors that play into this. The first is the on-chain data, and the second one is the off-chain data, right? All the block tributes and stuff. And so for the on-chain data piece, if you scroll down a little bit, we use the main traits section of the website. Yeah, right there. So, you know, these are kind of like the biggest used pieces of on-chain data, I would say. Like, for example, bitfeed.live uses these to create their picture of a bitmap, right? These are kind of the inputs that are used to output a picture of a bitmap based on the block data. And so these four categories have like a huge weight inside of a block. So these are like the main on-chain traits that we use in our rarity calculation. And you know, basically it's all done on the database. So it's like big SQL scripts, and you know, we're able to kind of compare these four values and all of the block attributes to other blocks on-chain values and block attributes as well, and then we spit out a rarity score. And the block attributes, the rarity for those is based on the supply. So, you know, we just try to keep it really simple and just take, you know, a block attribute, how many blocks contain this block attribute out of the 800K blocks on Bitcoin, and then we are able to kind of spit out like a weight that is used in our rarity score. And then for each block, we're able to kind of like sum up all of these scores for each individual trait, and then that's their final score that you see that you highlighted earlier.
Gotcha. That's awesome.
And the highest you can get is scores. What's the highest you can get?
Go to block 0. That's the highest one. I'm not sure off the top of my head, but I think it's in the millions somewhere.
Type 0, yeah. I'm just hitting there.
Is it my right one?
Yeah. Score number 1. Yeah, so it's like 900K.
Okay.
Okay, gotcha.
That threw me off for a second. I didn't think that was a score.
Bro, I got real happy. I got real happy a second ago because I had a 99 score and I thought the highest was 100. So I was like 99.64. That's hilarious.
That's funny. Yeah. No, it's all about the rank. Yeah. I mean, but you can see this one has some crazy block attributes like the mythic one, right? There's only one of those, right? That's the Genesis block. Sub 10, there's only 10 of those. So yeah, I mean, this one's obviously going to do a huge score.
That's awesome, dude, that you guys have that algorithm. I'm going to be freaking checking all my bitmaps tonight.
So what is this heat map here? What is this?
Yeah, so this was actually one of the first things we did. We brought this out on version 1, and it's really just a visualization of the block data. So if you like hover over one of those, you'll see that it represents a piece of block data, and that the color that it gets is based on its rarities. So if it's darker, it's more rare. If it's lighter, it's less rare. And so it's just a way for people to kind of quickly see what's rare inside their block or not.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. I know I'm going to have fun playing with this tonight. This is.
I know. This is like right now. If I was back in college, my professor would probably yell at me because I'm like plugging in numbers. Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely. I did have one question for you because like you obviously are an expert with bitmaps and stuff. And you've given us a lot of great insight so far on this episode, and we appreciate that. One question I have for you is, do you think it's important for these metaverse builders, because you said you're waiting on these builders to be finished their product, do you think it's important for them to have interoperable assets like BRC 420 and kind of have like a open source metaverse to where some of these can interact with each other? Or do you think it's inevitable that like one main entity will take over kind of that world?
Great question. Personally, I would love to see it be more of like an open standard. I think that's probably what most people would want, especially like in Bitcoin being as decentralized as it is. The culture here is more decentralization. I think there's going to be some players who try to centralize it. Because that's kind of the easiest thing to do, is to build for yourself. But there also is, I mean, Jeff is probably leading the way there with an Inscribed space as well. Those guys are building like interoperable, Foxy included, who are building interoperable metaverses and avatars that you can move from one universe to the next. I think those will win out because people will want to buy those over some centralized thing because they can use them everywhere, right? And I predict there's going to be a lot of partnerships between companies like those, right, who are kind of building the same type of metaverse, and companies like ours who are kind of being like the data infrastructure level. Overall, in the end, I would like to see kind of this universe of different arenas that we can all play in, and it's all using Bitmap data. So I hope that's where we're headed.
Yeah. It's wild, man, because I think that is where we're headed, because, we obviously do run spaces every weekend and we do our show, we interview all these founders, and out of all the spaces, like sectors of ordinals, Bitcoin ordinals, Bitmap has the most cohesiveness, I feel like, in terms of builders. There's obviously some that are kind of doing their own thing, but from what I've seen, like you said, with Foxy, BRC 420, and Scribe.space, and those are ones, and those are the ones that are really building right now. And I feel like we're really lucky, man, because like we could be in the beginning parts of something could be as big as like the internet, man, like how it was, because the internet, you know what I mean? Like back in the 90s, the internet looked like crap, but now, like in 2000. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited, and appreciate you letting us kind of, dig into your brain there.
Yeah, of course. And one more thing you made me think of was, with Tap, I think Tap will play like a huge role in this too, because we've seen On-Chain Monkey like go all in, right? That speaks volumes to me that those like super smart people are see the value in Tap.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be major if if those guys are willing to go all in on tap, then that means we're onto something here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
100%. And it's weird because Shizzy was, he's kind of like tap. I don't know, but recently he's been kind of resurfacing like tap to his mind, right? And he's like, okay, yeah, I can see it now. But I think it'd be okay because, like, obviously you got tap, and then you have BRC 420, and those are two kind of like the two big players. But that's okay if there's like 2, 3, 4 different types of worlds that have like 5 to 10 different platforms in them, because then you can be like, okay, I have access to this one. This is bad. This is awesome. I have access to this one. This was awesome. And then honestly, I feel like something like Bitmap.Community would benefit from all of them because they would be like the data source, right? Like they see you. So it's everything. The stars are aligning. It seems like.
You guys are the AWS of bitmaps, man. You guys are sourcing everything, but yeah, man. I'm definitely excited for see what you guys do next. What do you guys have in the pipeline? Like, what's the next thing?
Yeah, so next thing for us is we definitely need to add parcel support. We got to get all that transaction data. That's what we're working on right now, just so we can kind of make that available and hopefully do some of the same things that we do for block data, right? Like rarity scores, block attributes, do all of that same stuff for transactions. Let people really start to take parceling by storm, right? By letting them kind of understand it a little bit better. We want to do some revenue earning things, including letting people inscribe on our platform. We've had some requests for like bitmap transfer. What's the word I'm looking for? Like bulk transfers for bitmaps, things of that nature. So yeah, we're just kind of building a foundation for the marketplace and the inscribing platform and adding those parts of support. Those are our main focuses right now.
That's awesome. Yeah, man. You got any last questions, Yago?
No, man. You did a really great job, man. Just explaining what you guys are offering the community, and what you guys have planned. And I mean, you guys are the pioneers for a lot of this stuff in terms of data, and the Genesis meant. I feel like that went extremely well.
Yeah, I kind of want to show that.
Yeah, and it's going to be tough kind of following that up, I feel like. But obviously people will start to, try to do that. I guess my last question for you be like, because I don't feel like anybody, like, for example, me, like Yago be like, I have my position in the space, but like, I'm not a bitmap builder, right? So I feel like for me, it probably wouldn't be a great idea for me to do the, parcel out my stuff. What advice would you give for someone that's thinking about doing that?
Great question. Yeah. My advice would be build a product first, or build like a use case first, right? I think that is important. I don't think people should just be like parceling their bitmap for fun and trying to sell it, because there's really no value there, right? Like why wouldn't I just buy a bitmap? So that's my biggest advice to people who want to build on Bitmap or build in general, is build something first, and then you can start to parcel things out or launch a token or whatever you want to do. But show some utility, and then the people will come.
Awesome. Oh, yeah. That's great advice.
Yeah, and great job with your mint. It seemed like everything went really, really well. There was no issues at all. So what was that process like?
Yeah, it was great. We wanted to make as big of a splash as possible. That was our idea. So we went with Magic Eden, and used their launchpad. And those guys are professionals. They've been doing this for a long time. So they make it really easy. But yeah, I mean, it was just amazing. Like, we started the whole process by having people inscribe be the bitmap for whitelist. And that was really fun, because the first 300 who inscribed be the bitmap, we indexed it on Genie data using SQL and all of that fun stuff. So it was like fully verifiable on chain. It was all in the data. People could go and confirm it for themselves. So a really cool way to do whitelist. And then mint date came around, and it sold out pretty quickly. So it was really exciting.
That's awesome. I feel like you guys are just ahead of your game, man, especially with
I
the
know,
idea
right?
for a whitelist and all, man. Definitely awesome. Definitely bullish on you, man. Uh, so
Yeah, for sure.
it's kind of part of the show. We kind of give you the stage to talk to our community. It's this stage, you can say whatever you want. Stage is yours.
Yeah, I don't know that I have much to say. I mean, yeah, I would just say, if you haven't, check out Bitmap.Community. Join the Discord. I mean, we've got, I think like we're up to like 600, 700 people in there now, and just lots of really cool conversations happening around Bitmap. And we're trying to get people to see the data. So if you've got like some cool things data wise related to Bitmap, please jump in there and shoot a message in the chat. Let's discuss. And yeah, I mean, let's just keep building for Bitmap. That's all I got to say.
That's
Nice.
awesome. And where's the best place to come find you if I was a builder and trying to look for you guys? Would that be the Discord as well?
Yeah, come to Discord. Yeah,
Okay.
always in there. You can also just DM us. We get a lot of DMs, but try to read all of them if I can. So yeah, you can always find me there as well.
Sounds great. It's been absolutely amazing, man. Thank you again. And we got to do a round 2. Just let us know when you're ready.
For sure. Yeah, thanks again for having us, guys. Super fun.
Yep.
See you, man.
We'll talk to you soon.
Cool.
Nice. That was fun, dude. It was everything I expected and way more, man. Actually,
Yeah.
a lot more.
Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely expected, just to really get into the weeds with it because, we messed around with the site, and just also I like before even the new website was coming up, I reached out to them because I won that punk from Foxy, the draw, and it was a community punk. And I asked Metaverse, I was like, oh, how do I get this? Because it wasn't indexed as a punk. I reached out to them via DM, literally got back to me, really quick and helped me out and updated it in their index, in their data. Right. So, obviously they're busy at different times, so that could take a little bit longer. So just stay patient. If you do have something, they will get back to you because I had a great experience with it. But yeah, man, I think like that's going to be like, the source of truth, as Jeffrey said, in terms of where everybody's going to look for data for Bitmap.
It's so cool to be in the spot that we are in now, right now, right? Like everything's so young and stuff. Like I see these guys being huge in a few years. You know what I mean? And like we're sitting here, and potentially, we were like one of their first interviews, or if so, I think it's just amazing that we're in a position that we are in, and then each community's in a position to use these things first and stuff like that. Man, Ordinals is such an amazing place to be right now, and I think everyone should feel early because we are.
Yeah. 100%. You couldn't have said it better. And I think the people that are here too, like for example, him, like he had his experience he paid his tuition, like with the bear market, and you and I both definitely did, right? And so it's like the people that are in Ordinals that had that conviction, they have previous DeFi experience, right? So like the light bulb goes off kind of situation, right? And he explained that as well. And so the people that are here, we know what's coming, and that's why we came here. And so it is exciting. And man, couldn't ask for a better episode. I feel like it was amazing.
Great day, man. Great day of interviews. It's been absolutely amazing. Our market update this morning was awesome. It was just amazing. But guys, please, we put a lot of work in for you guys. Please hit that like button. That's all we ask you guys to do. Please hit the sub button. Check out ordinalrevolution.com. Check out our merchandise. Check out our articles. We have some of the best articles in Ordinal, so check those out. And it'll be cool if we get some API to hook up in there from Bitmap Community, so that'll be even better. So check us out, ordinalrevolution.com. That's our show.
Peace.
See you guys.
Ordinal Revolution. Let's go.